Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is really good to have you here. I am creating this video on the 4th of July, so I hope everybody has or has, I don't know, had a good 4th of July. I love the energy from people around the holidays and such, especially holidays like this, the significance of celebrating freedom and celebrating independence and things like that. Everybody usually has such a really great high energy. So I am at work today, but honestly not really minding it so much, and of course, like yesterday we got my granddaughter's a kiddie pool, and oh man, that was a whole lot of fun. So and I usually I had been trying to tell my manager for a while now that, higher temperatures means higher tempers. So if there's any way to bring down that temperature, definitely helps. And it really did. They were so good for the rest of the day. It was so great, it was good to just kind of let loose myself and kind of be a kid again. That's one of the things that I've been missing a lot about my late husband, Greg, was his ability to sometimes just let loose and be a big kid himself. We used to play around so much with, each other and the kids, and how many times we'd get in trouble by, the adult. Just playing around, just being a kid, being happy, and, sometimes getting hurt. Yeah, that was pretty much a given, but it was fun. It was lighthearted, and it actually really helped me ground most of the time. And just, that's that being one of the things that I remember about him. Just kind of reminds me not to, try not to take life so seriously and try not to take things so personally. That's pretty much the only thing that's helped me survive. Yeah, is just having fun with myself, and having fun with my kids and my family, and that's one of the ways that I've been able to kind of choose the right people to hang out with and to be around, is seeing if they can actually take a joke, and if they can actually or if not, then how they handle it. So that will give you the best perspective on a person's personality. It's just whether or not they can enjoy life. Because, I don't know, for me, if they can't, it's, I can't. I'd prefer not to hang around with that person if they can't, just have fun with things, and not take life so seriously. Or take accountability for their actions and such, and understanding that nobody is perfect. And it's just remembering the way he used to handle people, and just that was one of the ways that we used to get through to people a lot, was just helping them understand that mistakes are what you learn from. It's not the end of the world, and most things, I'm reminded of a lead that I had when I was still a glazier. Was he said, Amanda, there's pretty much nothing that you can do that I can't fix. I like that idea, and I try to hold myself to that as well, that, I am going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. But the only thing that I can't fix as far as mistakes go is other people. And so I need those people around me that are going to be understanding and supportive and understand that mistakes are going to be made. And I will show them that same courtesy. Sometimes it may take a couple of breaths, but I am able to at least acknowledge that, everybody is just trying to do the best that they can. And you got to be understanding about that. Now, that can take a lot of patience sometimes, especially when it's somebody that you really care about and they've hurt you deeply. I know with me, lies are one of the things that will always hurt. And it's a combination of things, but it's, just in general, I've seen way too many times how much lies can ruin somebody's life, and it's disappointing, and it hurts me to see somebody hurt themselves in that aspect as well. And I know, a long time ago, I used to be not too keen on the truth either. And boy, karma came back and kicked my butt big time. And this was long before, this was even long before my husband even came around. And I learned very, very quickly that, it seemed like whatever I would lie about would actually start coming true. So, so many people that I've seen, nice car, sorry. So many people that I've seen that are just sitting there saying, little white lies, it, won't hurt anybody. It does. And it hurts you as well. On that note, being truthful with yourself is one of the key things as well. It's hard to hold others to standards that you're not holding yourself to. And I think that's probably one of the hardest parts, is being truthful with yourself. But when you are truthful with yourself, you'll find that understanding and support for yourself will actually come a lot easier as well. Also the understanding and support of others. Now I bring that up because, lately I've had to basically cut ties with a lot of people that I've found have not been truthful with me. And as much as it hurts to cut ties with them, I can't do it. I can't keep holding on and hoping that somebody is going to change. There are some people that lying is so ingrained inside of them that they can't even be truthful with themselves. And the way that it hurts them is, I can't watch that. Honestly, they can lie to me, okay, that sucks and it hurts, but I can walk away. They can't walk away from themselves, you know? And it just winds up escalating into this huge snowball until they have a tendency of losing themselves. And that hurts more than anything. You know, and just the idea that it's going to wind up hurting them immensely in the long run. You know, it's just that thought in and of itself, I can't do it. That's why I've chosen to, you know, surround myself with people who can be truthful with themselves. And they're so much happier. And those are the people that I enjoy being around. Those are the people that, you know, pretty much everybody enjoys being around. And, you know, there's been a lot of people that, or a couple of people actually, that have found this out since, you know, knowing me and since hanging around with me. And they, you know, some of them have even said, you know, Amanda, just meeting you and hanging out with you and, you know, calling you my best friend has changed my life. And I'm like, nah, it really wasn't me. It was you. You were the one that changed your life. And I am so incredibly proud of those people. It just warms my heart. And I love being with them on this journey. And they'll even tell you as well that it's not easy. It's not easy taking a long, hard look at that dark part of yourself and being honest with yourself about it. You know, being truthful. And a lot of, I mean, what was it? I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. Now, she's, you know, absolutely beautiful inside and out. And she's, you know, I'm so incredibly proud of the amount of growth that she's been going through. She's just been so much happier. And she wasn't a liar before, you know, or anything like that. So all of this, you know, this growth has just been, you know, it hasn't even been like healing from anything that she had done. But she was saying that she's hit a bit of a depression lately, and she's been doing a lot of like introspection to try to see why she's been feeling like this. Now the thing is that she was kind of looking at it, and she was just like, you know, because I was telling her, well, you know, I know the full moon was the other day, and Mercury is in retrograde and stuff like that. Plus she's at the, you know, she's in the 3rd trimester of her pregnancy as well. So, I mean, honestly, there are a lot of factors that could be playing a role to this depression. And she was just like, well, but I'm tired of, you know, blaming it on like the moon or, you know, my childhood or the environment or something like that. And I'm sitting there going, you know, it reminded me of a proverb that I had heard that said, all elephants are gray, but not everything gray is an elephant. You know, and she was just like, I don't want to make excuses anymore. And I was like, but honey, you're not the type to make excuses. And I was just like, all of these things that you just named off are reasons, you know, your environment, external factors, internal factors, you know. One of the things I told her was that, you know, the thing about like trauma and grief and things like that is that they will literally rewire your brain into thinking differently. And I'm like, so you can't really fault yourself for, you know, for being rewired when you had nothing to do with the way that your brain was essentially rewired. And I'm like, you've got to be understanding with yourself as well. Now, she usually has a great amount of patience and understanding with other people. That's one of the things I absolutely love about her, and definitely one of the things that I appreciate about her, because I'm sure I've tested her patience a few times in our long friendship as well. So, but that was one of the things that I wanted to remind her of, that, you know, she usually has a great amount of understanding with other people. And so I asked her to start using that understanding and patience with herself as well. And I asked her to, you know, sit down with herself and, you know, have a conversation with herself, you know, because, you know, she had told me that she had, you know, asked herself, you know, self, why are you so sad? And the only answer she came up with was, I don't know. And I go, now imagine that I had told you the same thing. What would you say? And she goes, I would have told you, okay. She's like, and I kind of stayed quiet for a minute, and she was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, sometimes you just kind of have to accept that, even from yourself, that maybe you really don't know, and maybe that's just the way it is. She was just like, yeah, okay. And the thing about that was that night I actually did the same thing with myself as well. It reminded me that I needed to have a few more conversations like that with myself too, because, you know, feeling overwhelmed and frustrated a lot lately as well. You know, there was a possibility that maybe I was kind of projecting my own frustrations with myself onto other people. And so I did. I sat down and on my bed and had a full-on conversation with myself, you know, out loud. And I probably sounded crazy as hell, but I am. So that is one thing that I have pretty much accepted. Not as to say that crazy is necessarily a bad thing sometimes. Sometimes it's actually what's needed in order to survive in this world. So, but since then, both of us have been feeling a lot better. And, you know, I'm just... you know, having people like that in my life has been incredibly wonderful. I mean, for everybody, from what I heard, you know, she's grateful for me, I'm grateful for her, and everyone else that I've chosen to keep in my life. And making sure that I surround myself with people who are understanding, supportive, and enlightening has made all the difference in the world for my survivorship. So hopefully it helps with you too. If you like my style, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.